Well, today I just want to do something a little different. Show you how to do it yourself, make a little something. These could be like the same thing, like a soft shackle or something like that. A replacement for a carabiner or something in that nature. I use them on the Tensahedron Hammock stand that I made because I want a joint that really wants to be flexible. So this allows me enough strength to hold it together. The metal pieces holds them together and still allows them to float and be flexible. This is one I've been using for a couple months now, out of some blue Dyneema, and it's very simple to make. It's got an eye right here. It's got a little stopper disc on there. It's a piece of Delrin plastic. I got some sheets of it laying around my shop. So anyway, you just put the Delrin through the eye, and when you pull on it, it can't go anywhere. It's got a stopper knot on the end, and that's all there is to do with it. I put this little pin on the end to make kind of a needle just to make it easier to thread through multiple holes that I gotta feed this through. So anyway, I show you how to make one. Then I'm going to show you upcoming how to make the whole Tensahedron stand. What it consists of is it's got an eye on one end, a certain length of Dyneema cord, whatever length you need, and then it's got a little something on here, a little stopper, and then it's got a stopper knot on the end that keeps that from pulling out of there. So anyway, this makes, however big you want to make these. You can make them. You don't have to use anything that massive either. I just wanted to, just because. So let me show you how you do it. Okay, so here's how I typically start off. Just a little piece of electrical tape, about a 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. Then I take got a roll of Dyneema cord here. So I just take it, and for this I want to be about 16 inches long. And I've got a ruler down here. So that's where it goes to right there. I put the piece of electrical tape on there, and I just try to kind of tightly snug it up, wrap it around there. So right there is where we're going to cut it, and I'm using a fid, so I cut this on a diagonal like that. So you can see I've got a diagonal here. Okay. Next, I take a piece of chalk, and for what I'm making here, I make a mark at 6 inches. I usually use blue chalk. And I make a mark at 8.5 inches. Okay? So there you should be able to see that. Okay, now I have a fid right here. It has a threaded part on this, and then the other end is a point. So what I do, I come to the 8.5 inch mark, and I usually just kind of push it just a little. It just kind of makes it, loosens it up a little. I try to go approximately in the middle, close as I can. Then I take the other end, and since it's tapered the way I cut it, it will start threading into this fid, and I just twist it. And I just have to twist it a few times, and then I just pull it through. So now I have made me a loop. Now there's a chalk mark right here. That's my 6 inch mark. And I want to fold it right at the 6 inch mark. Then it comes out to here. Okay. Now, so what we're always doing is this piece here is the one that went through the other one. So what I want to do is I want to take the end and I want to put it through that other piece. What this is called locking it. So I made a loop. Now I'm locking the loop, which helps to keep the loop from sliding. Then I usually pull on it a little bit just to kind of tighten it up. So now it's locked. It's not going to slide in either direction. And what I do is, now you see the piece that came up through, I'm going to lock it back through. So I'm going to double lock it. So I just shove my fit in there. Then I take the same way, get the pointed tip of that Dyneema started and twist the fit, and it sucks it in there a little bit. Alright, so at this point I've made a loop, which is here. I've locked the loop, then I've double locked the loop, and you can kind of see three little things right there. And then what I do here, I just like to kind of work it around a little like that, which helps everything to get nicely seated in place. Now then, I'm going to bury the tail right here. I'm going to bury that in there, which will give me about 25 to 30 times bury. They say minimum, you usually on a Dyneema cord, you usually want to bury 32 times. I used to always bury them 72. But I'm double locking it and then burying it, like I say, about, I have to figure I'm about 3 inches, so that'd be 24. So I'm burying it 24 times. 24 times the diameter is what that means. Which that gives the Chinese handcuff type constricting effect of this when there's tension on it. Gives enough bury in there to grip this hard, strong enough to keep it from coming undone. But I've already got a loop and 2 locks. Now I'm just taking my fit and I'm putting it inside. So this is a hollow braid. And all I do is I'm just working it through there. And what I want to do is I want to go a tad longer than the end of this. And then you just kind of pull it to the side and expose the tip, the point. And you let the point pull through. Now, you don't want to pull it too far because I still need to get this tail into the fid. So I get it started, I twist it. Once I've got it like that, then I just pull it inside, comes out the other end. I reverse the twist on the fid, it comes undone. Now what I want to do, I don't want to leave that black tape on there, electrical tape. So I just pull it off with my fingernails. That leaves that, which is actually tapered because I cut it on an angle. Now I just grab the loop end and I start right here and I push on it. And what that did, that sucked that right inside of there. So now that's all in place. So see, it's buried this far and double locked and looped. Okay? So that's all there is to that right there. Now then, the final step to do, these are so simple and quick to make. So now my final step is I put my little button on here. I just used a hole saw in a piece of Delrin plastic that's about 3/4 inch thick, I think. A 1/2 inch. So that's 1/2 inch thick Delrin nylon. I just use it because I got a bunch of it. You can use whatever you want. So now I shove the end through there. I slide that over. This 1.25 diameter, 1/2 inch thick. Like I say, you could use a washer if you want. You could put a washer on here. Anything that'll fit through your eye. Okay, now what you want to do is you're going to make it overhand knots. I'm just going to make a loop like this. And then I'm going through the loop a second time. So you go through a second time, which forms a stopper knot. And then you start pulling on it. One part of the knot goes over top of the other part. So the harder you pull on it, the tighter it makes it. So anyway, so now it can't pull back through the hole. That is a very simple way to make a little shackle type setup. And like I said, I'm using these as a flexible means of holding the four ends of two poles together to form my Tensahedron hammock stand. So that's all there is to it. Very simple to make.